Good evening. Elizabeth Jida, how are you? Don't finish all the enjoyment too. Remember, we have a deal. You are welcome. And today is the second day of the fast that we have been commanded to do. Please, I want you to invite people. Make sure you keep sharing and make sure a lot of people join us. Make sure. Elizabeth Jida, enjoyment officer. Do you know that there was a man who planned the downfall of another in the Bible? He plotted it. He planned it. Temito Emodube, how are you? He plotted it, planned it, and was so sure that it was going to come to pass. And even dug a gallows. That was going to an extreme. Even dug a grave because he was so sure. How can you think and plan on a human being you didn't create? You don't know that God changes things overnight. God, fear him. Fear God. In fact, fear who no fear God. Anybody who does not have the fear of God and you're in a relationship with that person, fear that person. That one is dangerous. Let's first of all learn one or two lessons from Mordecai and compare with David. Judah anointed David. Samuel anointed David. Jesse knew there was something about David. Yet, at the end of each all, Samuel anointed David. He would still go back to the bush. If you appear before your time, you disappear before your testimony. That some people, arrived, somebody must arrive early. Somebody must be first. Didn't you go to primary school and secondary school? Somebody must come first. Sometimes 3 or 4 people. But if life is judged by first position, a lot of multi-millionaires and billionaires today will not exist. Of course, you know what I'm saying. You were not coming first. In fact, most of the times you didn't even know whether you were average or middle. So somebody must be the first position. At the end of the whole anointing, this boy would go back to the bush because he read the book of Issachar and understood the meaning of that tribe. When you hear that they understood the timing, it doesn't mean they know when it's 1 o'clock. No, that's not what it means. It doesn't mean they know when it's 4, what you should do by 4. It had nothing to do with time, the normal time. What it means is that the children of Issachar understood the role of every tribe in Israel. They knew which tribe to become priest. They knew the tribe, the servants, and they knew at what point. They were following the chronological lifestyle of Israel. When this happens and this happens, this is about to happen. They studied history. So they were very sensitive. They didn't make a mistake. So this young man went back to the bush to mind his sheep. My husband used to tell me that when their father started making money, he was still using old cars. They were still living in the old houses. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. Sometimes you announce some things early. If you appear before your time, you disappear before your testimony. There's always a time factor. So even that time, people are looking at you and making caricature of you. They don't know you're like a hen that laid eggs. You are incubating. And whenever you see a mother hen that had laid eggs and is incubating, one thing is synonymous with her: she loses weight. She loses weight. Why? She's not out there looking for food anymore. She would just look for food 1 or 2 or 3 minutes. She would go back and put heat on the eggs. Give your dreams heat. Again, David, again, was Mordecai. Did you notice that Mordecai, at the end of everything he did for the king, he went back to the gate? He was still the gate man. The king didn't behave like there was something Nehemiah did and that he needed to be rewarded. Nehemiah was the one, see, and let's glean lessons from these Bible characters. Nehemiah was the one opening the gates for the king. What do you think was going on in his mind? Now, wow, I will open gates, he will drive in, he will not even ask me, are you not that one that gave me that secret I was looking for? So what do I do for you? Do I share my kingdom into two? I always tell people, wait until God speaks to people. Don't get angry over somebody's blessings. You don't know how long they started. You don't know the waiting. You don't know the sacrifices. Don't see them now that God has blessed them. You never knew their journey. And don't put your life in somebody's purse. I mean, that's the most craziest thing to do. Blessed are those who are not expecting anything, for they shall not be disappointed. Look at these two characters. Upon everything Mordecai did, he went back to the gate. Upon everything that happened between David and Goliath and all, he went back to the bush. Stay until God announces you. Don't maneuver it. Don't try to. If you maneuver it, it will appear before your time. Dr. Mobai told me, praying for you now to have a child is cutting your destiny short. So meaning, oh, she just gave birth to after 8 years and she died. Maybe she was supposed to stay 9 years. God doesn't make a mistake. And nobody is better than you because they got pregnant and they got married and they had a baby. No, that's not the criteria. You are the one walking yourself up unnecessarily. You're the one eating yourself up. They have a child I don't have. What does it have to do with you? Our journeys are not the same. Okay, let me tell you. The only thing he does is that, where is your child now? Oh, she's in the university. And where is your own? She's still in primary school. Let me give you one secret you don't know. You see that one in the university, that one has actually left the parents. That one has gone out. They begin to give us an idea that they will soon go with secondary school. After 3 months, they come on holiday. After 3 months, they come on holiday. Then you now send them out to go and do university. And you're releasing them and trying to let them, you're an adult. You are in this world. You have to manage yourself. You actually don't know what you're doing. And now, because she had that child early, she's in the university. You, in your 50s, you still have your secondary school girl right by your corner. Give me water, she runs to give you. God knows that if you bring in a stranger to come and live with you at that time, something might happen. Let me tell you the truth. He doesn't make a mistake. He does not. You are the one over-calculating. He knows by now you need little children around you to keep your mentality and your sense and your brain together. You never knew the pressure that you'll be going through now and the cushioning that those children are doing at this time of your life. You wouldn't know. And so you're just thinking and calculating and reasoning your life with another one. My mate, you don't have a mate. Professor Nibogu said the day he discovered life was when he was 50. Like today, our eyes were opened. She taught us how to make wealth. I don't think any of us will forget that. You don't even know what has been going on in my mind. I don't like poverty. I want to eat goat meat when I want to. I want to fly business class when I want to. I want to eat chicken when I want to. I hate poverty. And I keep saying it. I'll keep digging the well until I hit water. If I don't hit, I won't stop. You don't have an idea the kind of pressure and the kind of things that I carry, much bigger than me. The more I carry, the more the pressure comes, and the more I carry. I don't look it. You don't have an idea. Tomorrow, when God will bless you, people begin to wonder. I don't like poverty. Poverty is a curse. Poverty is witchcraft. Poverty is a disease. Poverty is a sin. Let me tell you, a lot of ministries are grounded today because there are no partners. Without money, no ministry will thrive. I'm telling you. Without money, no, that one that is holding the Bible and preaching, without money, ministry is grounded. There are things you want to do for the work of God. You can't do it because the money is not there. So this is why there are things we hate and hate without looking back. God knows that He is the one who has the map and plan of your life. You don't have it. He knows that now for your mentality, there are people that if you don't give them children by adoption now, they'll lose it. So as it stands now, what they need is a little baby to start, how are you? And then their joy, and then their life will begin. Hormones will balance. Everything will be okay. Then conception will take place. Because where they are now, they are 0 point. And if there is nobody by the side, God knows that in the next 20 years, your husband will be so mean that it's just the love and the care, those little children, and the way they are dancing around. So God will delay them and keep them until you never know. There will be a reason why you're thriving. There will be a reason why you're working. You will see yourself, your mind, attention will leave on what would have given you pain and anxiety. God will now channel it to something better. You're doing something, is giving you joy. You're excited. You don't even know what is happening. You don't have an idea. Haman plotted for Mordecai. And let me tell you, yeah, that's my first book. He makes all things beautiful in his time. That's the first book I wrote. I've written more than 9. And I stand before the mirror and I kept telling myself everything is working around for good. It's going to turn around for my good. I turn negativity into positivity. I give myself joy and I hold on to God, knowing He would never leave me nor forsake me. This is where I get my confidence. This is where I get it. And as long as God has said it, I will hold on to it tenaciously. I will hold on to it like I don't have any other help. I will hold on to it like if God doesn't help me, something will go wrong. And waiting for children taught me patience. It taught me depending on God. I might be hurting and be close to you, will never know. You will not see it in my composition or the way I compose. You will never. It's maturity. But I know how to go on my knees and cry to God. And I will hold Him. Mordecai planned against Haman planned against Mordecai. What did Mordecai do? Nothing. He became envious. He didn't even put him in the agenda. You know when some things are about to happen and you're wondering, if there's anybody now, it should be you. You now scan people through, analyze them. This one, it cannot be you. The other one, I remember somebody who said when we were growing up, the person said in the next 10 years, the only place you'll come and see beautiful plates is in their house. That's a myopic. Let me tell you, God can change somebody's life overnight, under 1 hour. Somebody can introduce you to what will change your entire life. Don't underrate human beings. Never underrate people. Haman underrated Mordecai. And so, by the time he was talking to the king, he said to the king, if there's anybody at all there's anybody that should fit in and be this and be that, it's no other person now than Haman. Man proposes, God will say never. Sir, you don't have the manuscript. I do. I privileged you to be kings in the palace, and you took it for granted. You think it's your own. Now I'm going to show you that some people are doing more than what you're doing, and they are nowhere. I'm the one that gave you power. So you know what? You see that gallows that you dug for Mordecai, you will enter there. And that's my mission on this platform tonight. They look at you, they don't like you. They don't like you because your God has been faithful. They don't know how you package yourself. And you have been available when God needs you. You've been faithful. And God has been saying, I will honor. You know why you're waiting? You're waiting because God wants your testimony to be louder. But you don't even know. You don't know. That's why you're crying. You're waiting because God wants the whole nation. One lady woke up one morning after we finished having our Abuja fellowship in April. I won't forget. When I entered my room in that beautiful house, I told Sister Anne, our stay here is over. She said, Mommy, how do you mean? Where are you going? I said, I don't know, but our stay here is over. She said, don't talk like that. I don't like it when you begin to talk like this. Your stay here is over. Where are you going to start fellowship in Abuja? I said, sincerely speaking, I don't even know what I'm saying. And it was in April. And after that meeting, I got home. I traveled back. 3 days. I did not say 3 weeks. I didn't say 3 months. 3 days later, one lady called me and said it was just laid in her heart to start looking for accommodation for us. Were we comfortable where we were? Very comfortable. In fact, if you want me to leave the place, I will not leave. Why? Because each time we have a conference, buffet, our host will cook and feed everybody. If I remember one of the days after we didn't cook again, the daughter said, what kind of fellowship is this? You people are doing fellowship, you're not eating food anymore. She didn't know that those were privileged opportunity her mother did for us. She didn't do it once. She wasn't doing it local. She was hiring people to do it. So she was paying them. She would be the one. The person who came to do canopy happened to be her tenant. And the tenant had never set eyes on her, but she knows the woman. So when we wanted to do this meeting, she said she has a tenant, but that she will use somebody. So when the tenant came, the tenant saw her. She greeted the tenant. The tenant asked her whether she's one of the ushers because she was cleaning the chairs and the table. That was her house. She was the one who seen us. But the one who brought canopy was asking her. She's online. She's on Instagram. And she will remember. He was asking her whether he took her to be one of the ushers. You see how humble people are. I keep saying it that those who have money, they don't make noise. It's only empty vessels that will make the most noise. And so this lady said she was led to get a hotel. That she had gone here, she had gone here, she had gone there. But that she didn't like their sizes. 4 days later, I got a call. Pastor Choma, when are you coming to Abuja? I said, no plan yet. She said, I hope you're not offended. Can I send you a ticket for you to come? Please, don't say no. Let me tell you what I concluded. Each time I come to Abuja, she would come to my hotel room. We would pray and comfort husband. She would come to my hotel room. We would pray and comfort. So I concluded that the husband had come. That was my conclusion. So by the time I arrived in Abuja, she said she's taking me somewhere. Meanwhile, her company gave her a brand new Jeep, a Prado. So she wanted to dedicate the car as well. She wanted to show me. We drove straight to a hotel. I looked at it, Grand Cubana. I said, is he where we're going to do the wedding? Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was laughing. Then she entered. She said, I should come in and have a look. I entered. I said, beautiful. But don't you think, with the crowd, would they enter? She said, Pastor Choma, since after the last meeting, I haven't had sleep. What was coming to my mind? What if rain starts falling now? Are we going to continue to be under the canopy? So I have decided to move the fellowship. I wanted to clean my eyes. I said, and my ear. I said, what did you say? She said, I've decided to move the fellowship. Do you know how much that hall was? 500K. She started paying every month. You know how many years she paid it? 2 years. Do you know why it stopped? Nobody stopped it. COVID. Even during the COVID, she was calling me. Now hear this. That marriage that was not working. The only thing I could say was the whole Nigeria will attend your wedding. Along the line, brother-in-law became governor. I didn't even know that while she was paying for the hall, suitor came. And the suitor was attending fellowship. I didn't know. It was when she delivered a baby. I'm not talking about somebody in her early 40s or somebody in her late 30s. No, that's not what I'm talking about. She moved for 2 years, 500,000. And then she would do the decoration. She would be there until the decoration is done. Then she would go, get ready, and come back. She didn't just get married. The whole country didn't just attend wedding. The next year, God gave her a set of twins at an age where people would look around and begin to wonder. Let me tell you, if you are a Mordecai and they dig a gallows for you, the gallows will swallow them. There are things Hezekiah did that when prophet Isaiah was told to go and tell Hezekiah he would die, Hezekiah said, who sent you? God. Tell him I know him. Just go and tell God, me, die. How? What about this one? After this one? What about this other one? You see what Isaiah said? God, he knows himself. He knows his onions. So God said, go back and tell him. He goes nowhere. Who dug a gallows against you? You don't have to offend them all. Your paths don't have to cross. You don't have to say, get out. They are angry because you have added weight. It might be water you're drinking. They don't want to know how you added weight. But why should you add weight? They are angry that nobody is gathering to settle you and your husband. They are angry that your children are not lacking food. I mean, they should be lacking and be knocking at their door. They are angry that you have one car, one, and that you clean this car very well. One lady called me one day and said, why are you behaving like you don't have a problem? Any woman who doesn't have a child has a problem. Are you a very young lady? Every week you make a brand new boo-boo and wear. Who are you deceiving? If you don't have a child, you have a problem. You know what she said didn't get to me. Do you know the only one that got to me was the chilled malt I gave her that she was drinking. That was the one that hurt me. It wasn't what she said. Because there's this sieve in my ear. It doesn't hear those kind of statements. You will not come to me and speak against somebody I know. I will not give you listening ear. I will not hear. I don't want to hear. It will not enter. So that next time you will not come. I'll stop you right there. Because I don't want you to tell me again. Leave me to experience it myself. Who dug a gallows against you? Who dug a gallows against your family? Why are you people not moving forward? What is the stagnation about? The more you pray, the harder it becomes. Tonight, we are here to return it back to sender. When my mother got married newly, one night, my father was a man that knew traditional stuff. His own mother fortified him, being the only son. My father said there was a place there where his mother took him, and it was a python that would open the gates. The mother, the only son born in a big family. So my mother was with my father one night, and the light, the lantern went off. You could hear the breeze of the trees and the whistling. My father tapped my mother. If you hear a knock on the door, don't say. My mother said she froze. After a few minutes, boom, boom, boom. She said she was shaking. It came again. It came a third time. Then the footstep was now like went back with force. In the morning, what woke them up was the cry and wailing of somebody that some family lost 3 boys at the same time. Now what happened? They released the spirit of death to my father. And the only way this spirit of death gets you is when there is a knock, you respond. Who is that? It enters. Who is that? Meaning open. Means the door is open. So because this man understood it, he told my mother, if you hear a voice, keep quiet. So when the thing knocked and knocked and knocked, and nobody said a word, and then it angrily went back to the family. When you hear the Bible say, the words that I speak are life, and you hear the Bible say, they will not go back to God void until it accomplishes that which it was sent for. That is how it is. When the enemy releases the spirit of death and you return it back to sender, it will not go back until it accomplishes that which it was sent for. He went to the family that released him and said, why did you take me to a man whose hands are clean? So for bringing me out, I cannot go back like that now. So I'm taking 3 from here. Anybody who has dug a hole, la la la, rege de gede, rabrozi bragandali, malia bashinda lagadaha. Anybody who has made up his mind that you are crying this month, you are wailing this month, you will be in pain this month. Rabashinda lagadagada, riabozi agadia lagada, regede gida librozinda, alegede legede. Anybody who is projecting, what is your husband's picture doing in their shrine? How did he get there? Rabazibro ziba ligada, regede legedege, rabadibro zinda labalagada. How did your husband's picture get into their shrine? Riabozi agadia lagada, walegede legede. We return it back to sender. We return it back to sender. We return it back to sender. Alebro zikata lagada. We return it back to sender. How did that lump get into your body? We return it back to sender. How did stress take you over? We return it back to sender. How did that infirmity, how did it penetrate into your body? We return it back to sender. In the office, they are manipulating. At home, they are manipulating. You don't even know which one to run away from. Alebro ziba ligada. You fought wars in your mother's family. Now you're married in your husband's family. They will not let you have peace. Rabashia gadia lagada. Everybody is fighting you. Brother-in-law fighting you. Sister-in-law fighting you. Uncle fighting you. Auntie fighting you. I package all of them. But one thing about their fight is that their fight is good. Oh, leave the penny now. You need them to push you. Now that you have looked around, you don't have anybody. Are you not turning to God? Now that they have given you war, are you not embracing God? Who would have taught you how to pray? Who would have taught Hannah how to pray the whistling prayer? But because their problem is you, they just don't like you. It's a pity. God has already loved you. It's a pity for those who don't love you. Because God already picked you. But you know what? We return it back to them. We package it back to them. And we finished our online one day. And somebody called my PA. Called our prayer line. I want to believe that that call was not for her. Because but they mentioned her name. They know her name. And they said, your case, your name is on our altar for evil. They want us to hurt you. But we are led. For some reason, we demanded for your number. and they gave us. I want to believe that the number is on the line. But it